Ethan stared at his bank account. $620. 2 months behind on rent. The power had already been shut off. The fridge was nearly empty, and it was 2 a.m. The silence in his apartment felt heavy, almost suffocating. But inside his mind, everything was loud. On his screen, a message blinked. Last chance. This deal closes tonight. It was from Jason. A simple offer, direct and dangerous. Fast money, easy money, guaranteed. Exactly what Ethan needed, or exactly the kind of thing that ruins lives. If you've ever felt this kind of pressure before, hit like right now. It helps this message reach someone who really needs it. He rubbed his face, exhausted. He had lost his job 3 weeks earlier. Company restructuring, they said. But he knew what that really meant. You're no longer needed. Bills kept coming, calls wouldn't stop, and time was running out. Jason kept insisting, "Trust me, Ethan, this will fix everything." But something inside him wouldn't let him. A feeling, a warning, a quiet voice that somehow screamed louder than logic. He stood up and walked across his small apartment, looked out the window. The city was asleep, indifferent, like the whole world had moved on, and he was the only one left behind. He thought about calling his parents, but pride stopped him. He thought about asking friends for help, but shame spoke louder. And for the first time in a long time, he felt it. Loneliness. Complete. If you want more stories like this, stories that shift how you see life, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. There's a lot more coming that can change the way you make decisions. Then something caught his attention. On the shelf, forgotten, covered in dust. A Bible his grandmother had given him years ago. He stared at it for a few seconds, as if deciding whether it still meant anything. Then he grabbed it, blew the dust off, opened it, randomly. It landed on a book, 1 Kings, and he started reading. At first, with no expectations. But as he kept going, something strange happened. It felt like the story was speaking directly to him. There was a young king, not even 20 years old. No experience, no preparation, no time to fail. His name, Solomon. His father, King David, had just died. And now, an entire nation was in the hands of someone who barely knew how to lead his own life. Imagine that pressure. Decisions about war, justice, conflict, money, millions depending on him. And he felt unprepared. Comment below. Have you ever felt like that? Like you had to make a decision you weren't ready for? I read every comment. Ethan paused. That feeling was familiar. Not knowing what to do. Feeling like any decision could go wrong. But Solomon did something different. Something Ethan had never really considered. He admitted he didn't know. And that changed everything. One night, God appeared to Solomon in a dream and said, "Ask for whatever you want. Money, power, victory, long life, anything. Now think about it. What would you ask for?" Pause for a second. Comment below. What would you ask for? Solomon stopped, thought deeply, looked at himself honestly, and said something most people wouldn't have the courage to say. "I don't know how to lead. I don't know how to decide. I don't know what I'm doing." And then he asked for something that changed history. "Give me wisdom. Not money, not power, not fast success. Wisdom, discernment, clarity to make the right decisions." And something incredible happened. God didn't just answer. He was pleased and gave Solomon more than he asked for. Wealth, honor, influence. Because wisdom leads to all of that. If this is already speaking to you, share this video with someone who's facing a big decision right now. Ethan closed his eyes for a moment. How many times had he asked for money? How many times had he asked for quick solutions? But never wisdom. He always wanted the outcome, never the understanding. But what came next in the story shook him. 2 women, One living baby, one dead. No evidence, no witnesses, an impossible case. Solomon could have gotten it wrong, but instead he said, "Cut the baby in half." Silence, shock, but it wasn't cruelty, it was wisdom in action. One woman screamed, "No, give her the baby, just don't kill him." The other said, "Fine, divide him." And just like that, the truth was revealed. The real mother was willing to lose everything to save the child. Solomon saw what no one else could see, the heart. If you enjoy deep, life-changing stories like this, turn on notifications. The next ones will hit even harder. Ethan took a deep breath. He realized something. Wisdom isn't knowing everything. It's seeing what others don't. He thought about his own life. How many times had he acted out of fear? How many times had he chosen the fast path, ignored that inner warning? And where did it lead him? Right here, lost. Then he kept reading and found another verse, this time in Isaiah. "Do not fear, for I am with you." He read it again and again. Something shifted. The promise wasn't a life without problems. It was not being alone in them. That night, Ethan did something he hadn't done in years. He prayed, simple, honest. "God, I don't know what to do, but if wisdom comes from you, then give me wisdom." Nothing happened externally. No voice, no sign. But inside, something changed. Peace. The next morning, everything was still the same, but he wasn't. He made a decision. No more acting out of fear. No more chasing easy solutions. 3 days later, Jason called. Last chance. Pressure, silence, fear. But Ethan said, "No." A pause. Then Jason replied, "Good. 3 people already lost everything in that deal." Ethan froze. That could have been him. If you've ever avoided a bad decision just in time, comment, "That was me." Months passed. Ethan noticed patterns. People chasing fast money, fell fast. People choosing wisely, built something that lasted. A year later, he didn't have everything figured out, but he had something more valuable, direction. And maybe, if you're still here, this isn't random. Maybe you're facing a decision right now. Maybe you're feeling pressure, fear, uncertainty. Then remember this: one decision can change everything. And sometimes, the right path isn't the fastest one. It's the wisest one. If this message helped you, subscribe now. It tells the algorithm this kind of content needs to reach more people. And share this with someone going through a hard time. You might be the answer they've been waiting for.